I thought I'd just quickly go over some of the basics, like some of the basics of the movement of the game. Just because in some of these skips that we're going to showcase, you'll really have to understand how certain mechanics work, otherwise it's just going to be frustrating and it's going to work sometimes and other times not. I also have terms for certain movement that I'm going to be saying in the videos, and I want people to understand what I mean when I say certain things. So, going over the basics, the game gives you one grounded jump. I'm going to be calling this a jump, simple as that. You have one mid-air jump. This I'm going to be calling a double jump. So that. You have as many grounded dashes as you want, as long as you time them to the beat. Okay, and then the most important thing, you are limited to a single mid-air dash. As soon as your feet leave the ground, you have one dash in the air, and that's it. It doesn't matter how much you spam the button, it doesn't matter how far you fall. Until your feet hit the ground again, or the game considers you grounded. In other words, refreshing your grounded jump, you're not going to be given another dash. Just have that one. And that is the main thing limiting distance and height. There is one more thing. The game calls it a soar. I do not like the name soar. It doesn't really flow well in sentences, so I'm going to be calling it a jump dash. I will explain what a jump dash is in a second. Actually, no, let me explain it first before I summarize. So a jump dash is when you jump and dash in rapid succession. The game gives you a tiny little bit of leeway. In other words, you don't have to do them simultaneously. You can either jump and then dash, or dash dash and then jump. So again, jump and then dash, or dash and then jump, or do them simultaneously. So to summarize, before I get into how we're going to exploit the jump dash, you have a jump that I'm going to be calling a jump, a grounded jump. You have a mid-air jump, only one of them. I'm going to be calling this a double jump. You have a dash. I will be saying dash whether or not it is on the ground or in the air, because they are basically the same. And then you have your jump dash. Okay, now getting into the jump dash. How you can tell the difference between a normal dash and a jump dash is as follows. If you look at pairs on the left hand side of my screen, when I dash, again, if I say dash, I mean dashing on the ground or dashing in the air. You notice for both of them, he comes to the right hand side of the screen, does this little munchy munchy, and then moves back. I'll do it again. Okay. The difference when you jump dash, look at pairs, you notice he flicks to the right hand side and then immediately flicks back. And that happens whether or not I start off grounded or in the air. Okay. Now, what we're going to be doing with a jump dash. So if we don't start off our chain with a jump dash, let's say we start off our chain with a dash or a jump. The furthest distance you can get, let's say I'm aiming at that corner there. So jump, dash, jump. I can make it to about this, I don't want to know what that is on the floor, this piece of wood. I'll do it again. So I started off with a jump there. Let's start off with a dash this time. So dash, jump, dash. Once again, get to the piece of wood. That is as far as you can pretty much make it. However, if you start off with a jump dash, that counts as your grounded jump, which means it doesn't use up your mid-air dash or your mid-air double jump. So instead of having a jump, which does not give you a lot of distance, you can start off with something equivalent to a dash's distance, which is much, much farther. So the jump dash alone already gets me to where my entire previous chain gets me. I'll do it again just to show it's not a fluke. So if I start off with a normal jump, get to about there. If I start off with the jump dash and I do nothing else, I get all the way there. And I haven't even used my double jump or my dash. Which means, in effect, if you start off with a jump dash, you can get significantly farther. Look at that. Now there's a little bit of variation in this. Since the game gives you leeway, and it intends for you to do them at the same time, but you don't have to. You can do them in like a quarter of a second, third of a second window. You don't have to jump first, you can dash first if you want. The window is smaller, but if your fingers are better used to that, go for it. However, I recommend you jump first and then dash. And I actually recommend you don't try and do them simultaneously. You do them with a tiny bit of a window so that you can actually you can start off with a bit of distance before you first even initiate your jump dash. So as an example, hope you could hear that. I jumped first and then dashed in the air. You should have been able to hear the both inputs. There. So that compared to that. So that will be simultaneous, whereas nope, that's wrong there. Hold on. There. That one you should have definitely been able to hear. I recommend you do that. The game tends to make less mistakes when you do that. But anyway, you have a bit of variation. Again, what you have to work with is your jump dash, then your double jump, and your dash in the air. It is personal preference, honestly, whether or not you do jump dash, double jump, dash, or jump dash, dash, double jump. For me, the latter works better. I'll showcase it. So again, what I'm going to be doing is jump dash, dash, double jump. And remember, when you are in the air where you aim, you don't just dash horizontally, you actually dash in the direction you aim. So it's recommended you aim slightly up, like 45 degrees, to get you height and distance as well. So again, jump dash, dash, double jump. Got all the way to the wood that time. You can do it the other way around. You can jump dash, double jump dash. You're pretty much the same distance. It's personal preference. I haven't figured out yet which is better. But yeah, I'd recommend getting good at this piece of movement, because we're going to be using it a lot in our skips. So yeah, that should be the basics. There are more advanced versions of some of these things coming up soon once I get good at it. If I don't, I'm going to outsource the footage, have somebody else do it so I can showcase you. I'm coining a term called the super bow jump. As funny as it is, the SBJ, yes, calling it that. Hopefully it sticks. It'd be very funny if it does. But yeah, I'll cover those and further discoveries in another video, going over a bit more advanced stuff, but these should be the basics.